Good morning to our viewers in St. Martin and around the world. You're watching SXM Daily News Magazine, a live weekly show to bring you up to date with the latest news, current events, and feature stories. I'm Valerie van Putten, and I'm joined by my co-host, Fernando Clark.
Greetings to you, Valerie.
Greetings to you, Fernando.
How was your week?
It's been busy, huh?
You
had a very busy week, Fernando.
It was a long week.
Yeah.
This week had 9 days. But nevertheless, it's good to be here this morning and with our viewers here in St. Martin and around the world. And we thank you so much for joining us every Saturday morning and again during the week when you choose to watch this at your leisure. And we attempt successfully to bring you all the news and what's happening in St. Martin and around the world. And Valerie, you started by saying it was a busy week, and yes, indeed, it was a busy week. A lot of things has happened. We're in the peak of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, so people have to be aware. We are approaching our anniversary, that time. And
the fourth anniversary of Irma. But then when you saw what Ida did to New Orleans or to Louisiana and to New York, it was, ooh. Well, I've never seen so much water. Never seen so much water. It's like Niagara Falls.
Yep, it was something else up there in New York. So we're going to be talking about all that and bring you some more. And some of the top stories we have here for you today are the latest week COVID-19 updates. We also have new tourism minister optimistic about the future. And the new school year opens on an alarming note. You stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Shoppers Plaza and Lucky's Wholesale. These are the lucky group of companies for all your beauty supplies. We offer a wide selection of professional hair care products like Pantene, Tresemme, Vitals, Motions, and Suave. Hair relaxers and natural hair products such as Oris Olive Oil, Mega Growth, Africa Best Natural, Creme of Nature, and Organics, just to name a few. They also carry Dove lotions, deodorants, shampoos, and body wash. Avon Timely perfumes and deodorants. Sanex line of shampoo, body washes, lotions, and body sprays. Secret and Fa deodorants and body wash. For the men, we carry a selection of beauty products also, such as Axe body spray and lotions, Root shaving products, Old Spice shaving products, including Suave shampoo and conditioners. In Lucky 2, we carry Maybelline Cosmetics and L'Oreal color and hair dyes, hair extensions, wigs in all styles, shapes, and colors. And from the Yannick collection, we have synthetic and human hair. Also an electronics section with gaming accessories, jewelry, and watches by Seiko, Casio, and Citizen, and a wide selection of household cleaning products. Visit any of the Lucky group of companies, Lucky 2, Shoppers Plaza, and our wholesale department.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, Artist Life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suits you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
Welcome back, everyone. We'll first start with the St. Martin COVID report, but we would like, first of all, to take a moment of silence for those who passed away. And as we continue now with the news, St. Martin Medical Center, SMMC, has reported the deaths of 3 COVID-19 patients in under 24 hours. All 3 patients, like the vast majority of admitted COVID-19 patients, were unvaccinated against COVID-19 and had comorbidities rendering them high risk for severe illness from COVID-19, and St. Martin Medical Center release stated. Comorbidities is the simultaneous presence of 2 or more diseases or medical conditions in a patient. According to the St. Martin Medical Center, all outpatient department appointments and consultations will continue to proceed as scheduled as of Monday, August the 30th. Non-urgent admissions and procedures remain temporarily halted. Patients whose appointments have been postponed will be contacted directly by the hospital. The decision to prolong the temporary halt has not been taken lightly, and the lack of a significant decrease in active cases is quite worrisome to the hospital. When asked about the reason for the worry, Dr. Felix Holliday, St. Martin Medical Center Medical Director and Chairman of the Outbreak Management Team, replied, "The highly transmissible Delta variant of COVID-19 produces a significant number of infections in the community, which translate to a high number of admissions. High admissions of COVID-19 patients lead to the need for the reallocation of staff, which leads to the temporary halting of non-urgent admissions and procedures, as like many hospitals around the world. We are experiencing a shortage of medical and nursing staff as well."
And in other news, the Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, the Honorable Omar Otley, gave an update on last month's situation at the hospital. This is what the minister had to say at Wednesday's Council of Ministers press briefing.
According to SMMC, there are 15 deaths in the month. Last week was 12. We had 15 deaths in the month. And 12 of those are unvaccinated, 2 partially and 1 fully vaccinated. We can send everything that we want to send about the vaccination. And I am not going to dispute you, but the facts are there. So I'm asking you, I'm pleading with you, if not to protect yourself, protect the others around you. You may be asymptomatic, but the person that you give it to may not be able to handle the virus.
And school year starts with violent and drug offenses. Unfortunately, within a month after the reopening of schools, the community has witnessed a burst of violence, drug offenses, and arrest of minors in recent weeks. While this is not a new issue, it has the attention of the many people on the island. Here is an update from the Justice Minister, Anna Richardson.
Yesterday, a student was found with a pellet gun and a quantity of marijuana in his backpack, along with his notebook and lunch. The confiscated items were found during a random search of the student's school by school authorities. After the find, the police were called in and the student was arrested. He remains detained for further investigation. That wasn't enough. This morning, another student is arrested for entering the school grounds with narcotics. I am asking St. Martin as a whole to recognize the serious situation we have with our youth. I am asking parents, please, you must know what your children are involved in. I remember when I was growing up, my mother didn't allow us to come home with a pencil she didn't buy. A pencil, where did you get this pencil? A friend gave it, take it back. We must do better from home, and we must do better as a community.
The Minister of Justice also expressed her sincere willingness to tackle the situation and spoke of a youth symposium on delinquency that will take place this month.
Of having police monitor compliance with the compulsory education ordinance by children, but many, including parents and teachers, seem to agree that this is necessary. Some were concerned about it because they felt that it was intrusive, it appears. A significant number of local schools are concentrated in the general area, creating a lot of movement by youngsters in the street. Even though most students wear uniforms, this makes it difficult to control their whereabouts. To be sure, delinquency around schools is nothing new and certainly not limited to St. Martin. However, government has an obligation to ensure a safe learning environment as best it can. Of course, repression alone won't do the trick. An experience, and this as experience has taught us, That's why the minister's initiative to hold the country's first national juvenile delinquency symposium on September 6th through the 8th is quite welcome. Stakeholders will discuss establishing a comprehensive system that supports at-risk youth and their families. After all, social circumstances are often at the root of the problem. More should also be done to keep young people busy with worthwhile things such as sports and other positive forms of recreation. Despite the best efforts of those directly involved, the structural investment in related facilities and programs are still sorely lacking. But of perhaps greater importance is to actively engage in potential troublemakers early rather than treat them as outcasts, even before they become such. The complicated yet crucial issue obviously requires an inclusive and participatory approach. I do not know who the author of that particular article is, but I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for putting an objective viewpoint and sharing that publicly, because far too often we have situations that we're dealing with on the island, and before we can have a community that supports efforts to do or take positive steps, the level and the noise of criticism is loud. This is a serious situation we're dealing with. Our youths are really in a situation where they are either crying out for attention or they are just not receiving the type of support they need. And steps and efforts are being taken to be able to ensure that when we send our children to school for education, we as parents, teachers, school managers, school boards, and the likes can feel comfortable to know that they are in a safe environment.
And in other news, the new Minister of Tourism is dedicated to making St. Martin a giant. Incoming Minister Roger Lawrence, the new Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Telecommunication and Transport, made his debut remarks this Wednesday, which was last Wednesday, September the 1st, at the Council of Ministers press briefing. Mr. Lawrence is a seasoned professional in the tourism industry who committed several years at Port St. Martin in management. Here's a brief snippet of his opening statement.
And it is with great enthusiasm, and I must say that with discussions with my colleague ministers and support staff on the various listed portfolios, I feel highly optimistic. I feel very optimistic of what is to come. With leadership comes great responsibility and accountability. And I'm a firm believer that together we can achieve more. With communication and dialogue with stakeholders, we can create a better future for us all. Even during my first week in office, I have a particular story to tell. I recently met with a couple from the tri-state area in the US, and they was telling me about their love for St. Martin. And as per normal, I would ask, why St. Martin? And they put it very simple. When I'm here, I feel different. I feel liberated. This message, we need to capture the essence of that message. There's no reason why we cannot become a giant again amongst the greatest of them all. This gives me hope for the future. My commitment within the first 100 days is to position ourselves for greatness, taking the key components within the governing program, discussions with my colleague ministers and key stakeholders to propel this destination forward. There's nothing stopping us. With that being said, I have a few acknowledgements. I would like to congratulate the airport for signing off the construction project. That's a major milestone. I would also like to congratulate Mr. Alexander Gums for taking up the position of Chief Executive Officer at Port St. Martin. From a public notice standpoint, the legal advisor position is open and available. I encourage people to apply. Come join the team.
And we here at SXM Daily News Magazine would also like to congratulate Mr. Alexander Gums on his new position as CEO of the St. Martin Port. You have done your family and your island proud. Turning now to the weather, low moisture levels and a relatively stable atmosphere will restrict rainfall across the region. Additionally, an increase in Saharan dust is expected during the forecast period. Persons with allergies and/or respiratory illnesses should take the necessary precautions. Seas are expected to deteriorate during the next few days. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution. At 5 a.m., Hurricane Larry was located about 1,230 miles southeast of St. Martin. Larry is moving toward the west-northwest near 16 miles per hour. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 115 miles per hour with higher gusts, and additional strengthening is forecast over the next few days. So the outlook through Monday morning, partly cloudy and breezy with a brief shower possible. Okay, there's the forecast again, coming up next.
Okay.
We have to do the forecast over?
Well, I think we have seen the forecast. So we have coming up next, check out an interview that we did with a local author and a local nurse. We'll have that right after this break.
Shoppers Plaza and Lucky's Wholesale. These are the Lucky Group of companies for all your beauty supplies. We offer a wide selection of professional hair care products like Pantene, Tresemme, Vitals, Motions, and Suave. Hair relaxers and natural hair products such as Oris Olive Oil, Mega Growth, Africa Best Natural, Creme of Nature, and Organics, just to name a few. They also carry Dove lotions, deodorants, shampoos, and body wash. Avon Timely perfumes and deodorants. Sanex line of shampoo, body washes, lotions, and body sprays. Secret and Fa deodorants and body wash. For the men, we carry a selection of beauty products also, such as Axe body spray and lotions, Root shaving products, Old Spice shaving products, including Suave shampoo and conditioners. In Lucky 2, we carry Maybelline Cosmetics and L'Oreal color and hair dyes, hair extensions, wigs in all styles, shapes, and colors. And from the Yannick collection, we have synthetic and human hair. Also an electronics section with gaming accessories, jewelry, and watches by Seiko, Casio, and Citizen, and a wide selection of household cleaning products. Visit any of the Lucky Group of companies, Lucky 2, Shoppers Plaza, and our wholesale department.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, artist life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suit you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
And up next on SXM Daily News Magazine, a local activist gives detail on the blockade on the northern side of the island. Union representative, activist, and radio host Shuja Rev spoke to our newsroom and provided the background information for yesterday's blockade of the entire northern side. Motorists were unable to leave certain districts or cross over into the south. Here's details of what has happened.
One of the major problems that they're dealing with for the last 2 months, the collectivity workers has been on strike. The person who's over the general secretary of the collectivity, who's a lady from France, who has been doing a horrible job according to the employees and has been very prejudiced in her approach in terms of all the position that all the people she has hired thus far are all European people, and the people that she hired and the workers are now protesting and saying that, listen, we need to get a change come to this kind of situation. So based on that, and a number of other things. So they had a list of demands. The union had a list of demands of over 30 points. And to this day, for the last 2 months, the first point on the agenda is to get rid of her. And the president took the black on that position because he says he's not getting rid of her. And for the last 2 months, they have been on strike. And today they decide to up the strike a little bit more. So they form what they call a body of organization came together. They call themselves the collective. They came together and they carry out a strike this morning. I was part of that strike as well because I walked through the street in Marigot with them. And when they called the president, asked the president what's his position now that the people have rallied, he failed to give him an answer. I'll show you the video where he joked with the guy from the union, jogged the mic from him and tell him, listen, you're not answering us. So we gone, and since that they blocked the road, and they're in negotiation with the prefect now, and the prefect they had a pause because they met with the prefect. But really, the problem is not to be solved at the level of the prefect. The problem is to be solved at the level of the collectivity, which is the president. And the president was not in the meeting, so he asked to take a pause and ask that the president come to the meeting. So right now they're in meeting, the roads are still blocked. The roads are going to be blocked until they get some kind of favorable answer. That's the situation I can tell you right now. Well, listen, one of the things I know that they told the prefect is tell the president to come to the meeting and let's find a solution before sunset, because they can't guarantee the safety of no one in the dark. They did say that. I heard them say that myself. But you know, they're gonna request that you open the border without getting results. But that doesn't make no sense if you're opening not a border, if you move the barricade, not a border, the border is not blocked. They're gonna ask you to unblock the barricade, unblock the circulation of the people from same, because Grand Cars, on the way to Grand Cars is blocked, on the way to Colby, just by the roundabout and Bellevue is blocked. So you can't get out. If you come from Great Bay, you come over, you could come out the whole of Bellevue, but when you get right down by the home and tool area, by that industrial area there, you won't be able to get no further than there. And if you leave from Marigot, if you get into the middle of Marigot, you can circulate within Marigot. But if you're trying to get out to go Grand Cars and Rambo, you're blocked as well. So I am stuck in the Marigot area at this time as we speak. And if I know how negotiations are, and I'm sure you know too, that if you're not getting any result, you're not going to unblock. So I hope they reach some kind of favorable result before it get dark, and in that case, they will be able to unblock lift the barricades.
Fernando, talk to us. You got stuck over there yesterday, I understood.
I have my midday program on SOS, so I went to do my radio program along with my guest, Pastor Nolan Nanton. And by the time we were finished, we were told that the road to Bellevue was blocked. At the time we heard that, you could have gone through French Quarter. But by the time that idea came to us, they had already blocked that too.
also.
So we were actually blocked in Marigot because the road to Sandy Ground, as you know, they're working on the bridge, you can't use that. So we were literally blocked in there for a number of hours. The thing is that although it was an inconvenience to the people, I haven't seen anybody complaining. People were more supportive of the action. And I understand that around 8 or just after 8 p.m. on Saturday evening, last night for us, they had lifted the blockade. So people were able to commute. How I got over is because, well, we parked our car in the Lazy Bay parking lot, and we walked from the center of Marigot right up to Bellevue, and we managed to get a ride over.
Okay.
So that's how we got over. And when we got here, we understood that the roads were open again after 8 o'clock. But it shows too that people are standing up for what they believe, for their rights, you know. And whether you agree with them or not, I think it is always important that people have the liberty to demonstrate and to express your grievances or whatever it is whatever problem you might have. And the leaders should listen to the people. You know, now, I'm not saying the people are always right, but as a leader, you listen to the people because these are the people you visited during the campaign and asked them to employ you, give you the chance, and they did that. So, not going into the nitty-gritty of the issue, the blockade was indeed, what would I say? It seemed to have been well organized.
Okay, all right.
Because I understood that other areas were blocked also, such as Grand Cas and French Quarter. I don't have that confirmed, but you saw so many WhatsApp and other information getting to you. But it seemed to have been well organized, and the amount of people that you saw there, Valerie, if you had seen the amount of, because what was the problem is people that work on that side now going back home to the French side, and they were all parked on Bellevue.
But is it correct that the curfew has been extended?
The curfew has been extended, yes. It has been extended. But we'll deal with that in something else. But we have some great news coming up. A new book is out.
Yes, veteran writer, literary critic, and author Fabian Badajo has come out with a new book entitled Seasons of Storms, or SOS. Mr. Badajo, who is also a longtime radio host and journalist, published his book with local publisher and esteemed poet, Mr. Lasana Sekou. Here is a synopsis by the author about his new book.
Season of Storms has been in the making since the last major storm that we experienced, and that is
Hurricane Irma.
Hurricane Irma 2017. But, I did not set out really to chronicle the hurricane or reaction to it. I just decided, as the ideas came to me, I put them down on paper. And slowly but surely, when I realized that I had maybe a book here, so I approached my publisher, the House of Nacy Publishers, with Lasana Sekou there.
Yes, you know how close you are, yeah.
So, and he said, this looks good to go, so let's work on it. But yes, the three sections are, the section about the tempest, which is the storms themselves. And, also we've, gone through other storms that are not necessarily, natural, right? And, those include the various protests that we've had you know, and there's a section about protests, not only here but around the world, you know, including the BLM, the Black Lives Matter protests. And of course, you know, the pandemic itself is a huge storm that we're still going through. So, you know, that is also the another section, actually the last section of the book.
Okay. Medical practitioner highlights effects of Delta variant. Mr. Antonio Ponteflet recently contracted COVID-19 and shared his personal experience. The outpatient care manager of St. Martin Medical Center who was fighting the Delta variant. He detailed his observation, treatment patients, as well as other topics. Here is his eye-opening description of what has taken place.
Going to Aruba to see a loved one. When we came back, my wife got COVID, and I also got COVID, but had no signs, no symptoms whatsoever.
Asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic. Even when I was tested positive, I still had no signs, no symptoms, nothing. Until one morning, I woke up and I was under diarrhea. And the diarrhea lasted going to 3.5 days. And being in the medical profession, you think you have it under control. So there you know what to drink, you know what to eat, you know what medication to take, and that I have been taken with no success. Until one day I was on the bathroom and my wife said, Tony, you're going to get up to go bed, you're going to go bed. And I was telling her, yes, come just now, until I roll over in the bathroom. And thank God for my wife, she knew what to do at that moment. She would call, and the ambulance came and took me to the St. Martin Medical Center. As you know, we had in the beginning, we had an alpha variant. There are so many variants. And we don't know if the other variants to come, pray that they do not come, that if they're going to be more vicious than the Delta. But we know that the Delta variant, the signs and symptoms are different to the first variant that we had. We see patients coming in now. Before time, patients will come in short breath, need 1 or 2 or 3 liters oxygen. And now we got patients coming in who need 10 and 15 liters oxygen one time. The Delta variant, today you can be sitting, and tomorrow you can be on a high flow or even ventilated. The Delta variant, it is so, it's a virus, but this virus, it wreaks havoc. And worse than, so you have to always be on the alert, and you cannot drop your guard. And I think what happened, people dropped their guard in St. Martin because the COVID cases were decreasing. Exactly. So you drop your guard. And sadly to say that there are those who still don't believe even in the COVID and think they cannot get COVID. But I'm here to tell you that anyone can get COVID. I always say, if my wife got COVID, anybody can get COVID because she was so meticulous, so careful, so it's for anyone. Luckily for us healthcare workers who are dealing with these patients, we did not get COVID from the patients. So sometimes we have the fact that we are more safe in the hospital than we are going to the supermarket or even in your home because you have people coming to visit you. With the Delta variant, you even see that it is vicious. They come in, the people are sicker than before. In actuality, if you have 100% of inhabitants, 80% will be asymptomatic to symptomatic, mild. That was with the Alpha. But now we're seeing with the Delta, it's not at 80% going to be, it could be 60% are asymptomatic. And of that 80%, you have about 20% who are going to end up with a pneumonia. With the Alpha virus, you could have gotten a pneumonia, but now it's more than 20%, it's almost 30% end up with a pneumonia. Then you have a multi-organ failure. With the Delta virus, you see where all organs have an issue. And that's become of the hypooxygenation in the blood and the blood clots, the clotting, which you see in all viruses, but especially in the Delta. So you get a lot of blood clots in the lungs.
Manager of Patient Care at the St. Martin Medical Center, Mr. Tony Ponteflet. And we'll have more updates for you after the break. Still to come, government pledges support to Turning Point, and Hurricane Ida leaves lots of damage behind. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
2, Shoppers Plaza and Lucky's Wholesale. These are the Lucky Group of companies for all your beauty supplies. We offer a wide selection of professional hair care products like Pantene, Tresemme, Vitals, Motions, and Suave. Hair relaxers and natural hair products such as Oris Olive Oil, Mega Growth, Africa Best Natural, Creme of Nature, and Organics, just to name a few. They also carry Dove lotions, deodorants, shampoos, and body wash, Avon Timely perfumes and deodorants, Sanex line of shampoo, body washes, lotions, and body sprays, Secret and Fa deodorants and body wash. For the men, we carry a selection of beauty products also, such as Axe body spray and lotions, Root shaving products, Old Spice shaving products, including Suave shampoo and conditioners. In Lucky 2, we carry Maybelline Cosmetics and L'Oreal color and hair dyes, hair extensions, wigs in all styles, shapes, and colors. And from the Yannick collection, we have synthetic and human hair. Also an electronics section with gaming accessories, jewelry, and watches by Seiko, Casio, and Citizen, and a wide selection of household cleaning products. Visit any of the Lucky Group of companies, Lucky 2, Shoppers Plaza, and our wholesale department.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, artist life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suits you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
And welcome back. In other news, Turning Point forced to turn back people while government pledges its support. The Turning Point Drug and Rehabilitation Center is faced with many challenges due to legal restrictions that prevent them from accepting voluntary clients. Unfortunately, many people who are currently seeking help for substance abuse or in need of counseling cannot be admitted or helped because the institution is legally allowed to serve only mandated clients. The organization expressed earlier this week that they are also underfunded and need twice the amount that they are receiving, which is 1.2 million guilders. And they need that to provide adequate care. The foundation currently receives its budget from the Justice of Ministry and formerly received funds from the Ministry of VSA, which was cut off in 2016. Due to the fall in government, the minister which began working to grant the institution funds was sent home. The present VSA minister, Omar Otley, expressed his willingness to turn things around.
We're aware of the interview, the release from Turning Point, but however, last week I was in a meeting with my legal in which we requested the articles of incorporation from the Turning Point, and we're going through to see how Turning Point can be better assisted. As you just heard me mention, we're also looking into combating substance abuse. The problem we are seeing now related to a lot of mental health cases is not only the mental health issue, but it's due to the substance abuse. So we want to combat that as well. So we are working on it. There will be discussions held with Turning Point to move forward in the best interest of the people of St. Martin and the best interest in combating this issue. So we are working on it.
When the Prime Minister and myself traveled to the Netherlands a few months ago to deal with the World Bank issues and so forth, we also, at that point in time, requested that Turning Point be included in the monies that the Mental Health Foundation could possibly be getting as a help through the NRPB. They then also mentioned that because this is a new request, they have to look at it and so forth and see how it fits in the picture and if it fits the World Bank guidelines and so forth, I believe, what's the word they use again, PM? The World Bank, guidelines. But yes, the World Bank safeguards. They have to see how the turning point situation fits within the World Bank safeguards. And so we have been fighting to get turning point and substance abuse as part of the overall package from the World Bank. So that's one. And also in addition to that, turning point in the past did receive some sort of funding from government in the past. I've also met with the interim director, I believe about 2 weeks ago. And I know she also had to meet with the Minister of VESA, where we will be looking to see how we can continue to assist them or put them back on the budget again for support. We obviously see within our community that substance abuse is an issue, and we will be working on this as a council of ministers to see how we can have this tackled. But yes, turning point, substance abuse is important to us as a council of ministers. We have had the discussions with the World Bank on having support, a dual agreement with mental health and turning point, and we are looking to see how we could put them back on our budget for assistance.
And now let's turn to this Hurricane Ida update. Is that it right, Fernando?
That's correct.
On Sunday, August the 29th, the 16th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Ida made landfall in New Orleans. The Category 4 storm destroyed buildings, caused 911 power outages, knocked over trees, and led to the confirmed deaths of at least 6 persons, according to NBC News. Authorities says that it may have continued to climb. As the storm picked up, winds reached a speed of 150 miles per hour and blew off the roof of a building in the famed French Quarter, BuzzFeed News reported. The former Karnofsky store, where jazz musician Louis Armstrong got his start, collapsed as Ida battered New Orleans, among many other damages throughout the state. COVID has worsened the impact of Hurricane Ida. It's a major crisis, said an intensive care doctor at a New Orleans hospital. It's about to worsen. It has potential to spiral a little bit out of control, said Joshua Denson, director of the medical intensive care unit at Tulane. Denson rode out the hurricane from the hospital. So far, it has been holding up infrastructure-wise, relying on generators and not suffering structural damage from the winds. However, half of the healthcare workers evacuated, which made staffing even more difficult. Authorities were unable to say when power would be restored. It's been stated that power will take at least 2 weeks. While the hurricane decreased and continued its path, torrential rains from Tropical Storm Ida pounded the New York City metropolitan area Wednesday night, forcing the National Weather Service to issue a flash flood emergency for the city for the first time in history. BuzzFeed News reported that flood waters poured into subway stations across the city. Many videos on social media showed apartments flooded or pouring water as if it rained inside. People were trapped in subways and on buses, and many cars were later towed after being abandoned in the flood. Well, Fernando, we thought we had it bad here with Irma.
Yep.
But Ida, or Ida, as we like to say, but Ida really did some serious damage.
I'll tell you something about these hurricanes. Huh? They have a thing with dates.
Yeah.
16 years after it was Katrina, to the exact date, New Orleans suffered another storm, a Category 4 in this case. We had that experience here too with Luis and Irma.
Right, Luis was September 5th, Irma was September 6th.
Yep, so they have a thing with dates.
20-something years. I hope so another 20-something years before we get another one. I'll say that much. Wishful thinking?
Well, the thing is that we have Larry now out in the Atlantic, who's projected to pass northeast above us, quite some distance away.
Oh, thank God.
But, we are now approaching what we call the peak of the hurricane season.
Yes.
This is the time when they intensify. This is the time when you see them coming off the coast of Africa in numbers. So we got to be careful now. But with Larry out there and at this moment, nothing following, it doesn't mean to drop your guards.
Right, exactly.
And we know what it's like to have been through these storms.
Yes, yes.
If you have experienced Lewis and you have experienced
Irma.
I think you're a professional, or I should say experienced hurricane survivor.
Right.
And I call it survivor because when you go through these things at the end, you are so happy and blessed that you have survived.
Right.
Although, the thing about it is, when the storm is gone, you still have to deal with the aftermath. And sometimes that could be more.
And you know what we were talking about last week, about the increase, the price gouging that goes on, and the amount of, building supplies we're going to need, and some people just can't afford it. You drive around still, and especially on the front side. I was in Grand Cause about a month ago, and we went for breakfast, and I remember a girlfriend of mine looked around and says, but what happened to Grand Cause? It used to be such a beautiful village.
Yeah.
I says, every house that you see that has not been repaired, lack of insurance.
Yep.
You know.
That's another thing, yes, we have to watch our insurances. And I always preach this, I tell people as the season is approaching, make sure you have all these things in place. There are people who just simply can't afford
Exactly,
it.
exactly.
Not that they don't want to, they just simply cannot afford it.
Yeah, because the premiums keep going up and up and up and up and up. And for a senior or someone on a budget, a limited budget, a strict budget, they just can't afford. But something has to be done.
Not the first thing on their
minds. But when you see the destruction of homes and buildings, you have to think twice. But something needs to be done. Something needs to be done to protect ourselves.
It's we live in the Caribbean. We are in the hurricane belt, and it is something we have to deal with every year. Now, I always tell people, St. Martin has a lot of seasons. You have the tourist season, you have the on season, off season, but you also have the
Carnival
hurricane season.
Yeah, we have the hurricane season. Yeah, we
and
do.
it's something we have to deal with. We can't, push it aside and say, well, this year we're not going to have a hurricane season, we're canceling it.
We can't bury our heads like ostriches. We have to face it. But what I would like to say is we heard the Prime Minister today, well, this week then, and she was talking about, getting your sardines and your corned beef and,
she said that since last year, man.
Yeah, but she's reminding. We need to be reminded. Because right now, I know I have maybe one can of corned beef.
She doesn't have shares in some corned beef factory or something.
No.
Okay.
But we knew.
No, in all seriousness, be prepared. Huh? And people, by now, we should know what to get. Water, canned foods. If you have medication or anybody need medication, and if you have pets, take care of them also,
exactly.
et cetera, et cetera. By now we know the drill.
Exactly. Exactly.
So no need to have to tell anybody else about that. Well, we're coming down to the final story for today's episode or today's session. The final story for today: local teachers get creative for fundraising, and we also have a story on which country is limiting online gaming for children. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Organic Creations is your place when looking for natural health supplements and whole foods. We supply a wide variety of herbal teas, multivitamins, liquid herbs, artist life products, organic nuts and grains, essential oils, and supplements for a wide variety of health conditions, all at reasonable price. Our certified nutritionist is the perfect guide for supplements that best suits you. Inquire also about our gift certificate for that special someone. Remember, your health is your responsibility. So visit Organic Creations today at shop number 1 in the Orange Grove Shopping Center there in Colby, or call us at 721-523-9496. We open Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Organic Creations, where your health is top priority.
Shoppers Plaza, and Lucky's Wholesale. These are the Lucky Group of companies for all your beauty supplies. We offer a wide selection of professional hair care products like Pantene, Tresemme, Vitals, Motions, and Suave. Hair relaxers and natural hair products such as Oris Olive Oil, Mega Growth, Africa Best Natural, Creme of Nature, and Organics, just to name a few. They also carry Dove lotions, deodorants, shampoos, and body wash. Avon Timely perfumes and deodorants. Sanex line of shampoo, body washes, lotions, and body sprays. Secret and Fa deodorants and body wash. For the men, we carry a selection of beauty products also, such as Axe body spray and lotions, Root shaving products, Old Spice shaving products, including Suave shampoo and conditioners. In Lucky 2, we carry Maybelline Cosmetics and L'Oreal color and hair dyes, hair extensions, wigs in all styles, shapes, and colors. And from the Yannick collection, we have synthetic and human hair. Also an electronics section with gaming accessories, jewelry, and watches by Seiko, Casio, and Citizen, and a wide selection of household cleaning products. Visit any of the Lucky Group of companies, Lucky 2, Shoppers Plaza, and our wholesale department.
Welcome back, everyone. And as we continue with another international item, students across Illinois will be able to take up to 5 excused mental health days starting in January. Under a bill signed into law by Governor J.B. Pritzker last month, students will decide to take a mental health day, and they will not be required to provide their school with a doctor's note and will be able to make up any work that was missed on their days off. Having this now for all students across the state will be really beneficial, especially with what's going on with COVID. State Representative Barbara Hernandez, who co-sponsored the bill, told the Journal Courier. Many students feel stressed and have developed anxiety and depression because they're not able to see teachers and friends and may have lower grades due to remote learning. The pandemic has placed unique strains on children, and as a new school year begins, child psychiatrist says that they expect to see a surge of children who need help. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, and Prevention, between March and May of last year, hospitals across the country saw a 24% increase in the number of mental health emergency visits by children aged 5 to 11 years old, and a 31% increase for children 12 to 17.
Wow. Well, if you're wondering which country has banned the excessive online gaming for children, well, it is China.
The creator.
China has barred online gamers under the age of 18 from playing on weekdays and limited their play to just 3 hours most weekends, marking a significant escalation of restrictions on the country's massive gaming industry, CNN reported. Starting this week, minors will be allowed only 1 hour of play between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on Friday, weekends, and public holidays, according to a statement from the Chinese media watchdog, the National Press and Publication Administration, the NPPA. That was posted by state news agency Xinhua on Monday. The move represents a huge tightening of earlier limits set by the agency in 2019, which had restricted play to 90 minutes on weekdays and 3 hours on weekends for children. Authorities said that the restrictions were put in place to help prevent young people becoming addicted to video games. The NPPA noted this week that the rules were being issued at the beginning of the new school semester, putting specific requirements for preventing the addiction to online games and protecting the healthy growth of minors.
And the teachers of the MAC get creative with a fundraiser. Teachers of the Methodist Agoghic Center, Braulio F. Millard campus, came to school dressed as students for a relief fundraiser for victims of the August 14th earthquake in Haiti. The fundraiser invited students to dress up to school and contribute $2 as a donation. Since the students dressed up, several teachers decided to do the same. But instead of students, They came to school in their plaid skirts, blue uniform shirts with some rocking puffs and pigtails. Nuja Ruwan, a MAC alumna and current teacher, said that students did double takes in the morning when they first came in. They loved it. They got to mention all of the infractions with our uniforms, like puffs or white socks, Ruwan said. Hopefully, the dress-up won't be limited to this one time. The students expressed their desire to see the teachers do it all over again. Other teachers also want to join in. After the break, the teachers played games in the playground, like hopscotch, and the students thoroughly enjoyed it. Ruwan also added that they have more fun planned. They stated that they are trying to make learning fun again and not limited to academics. Their goal is to get students more engaged with a hands-on approach. In particular, the students are busy with creating posters to display around the school and reaping crops grown in their greenhouse. The greenhouse was donated last year by the Red Cross. Okay, so Fernando, before we get into, do you have anything else you want to add before I give a couple of notices from GEBE?
Well, given the time we have left, all I want to say is that here you see the MAC making school fun, you know?
Yes,
and on the other hand, we're seeing where school is becoming, I don't want to call it that, but a playground for death, you know.
Yes. When it comes to the fighting and what they're bringing into the schools.
One student comes to school with a gun, you know, and drugs in his bag. I can't think of a reason why a student would want to do something like that, but kudos to the MAC school and those other schools that have these problems. Well, let's hope that we get these problems under control real quickly.
Exactly. And as we end this edition of SXM Daily News Magazine, GEBE would like to inform the general public that electricity supply to Bel Air, which is Otter Road, Octavius L. Richardson Road, Otter Drive, Kangaroo Road, Camel Road, Rabbit Road, Dr. Spanish Fort Road, and surrounding areas will be interrupted on Tuesday, the 7th of September, 2021, from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Then Little Bay, Octavius L. Richardson, and surrounding areas will be interrupted on Thursday, September the 9th, 2021, from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. This outage will allow GEBE to carry out the necessary maintenance to their distribution system. And NVGEB apologizes for any inconvenience that this may cause. And then the disconnection notice, NVGEB hereby informs the general public that disconnection notice for the week, September the 6th to the 9th, 2021. They encourage you to have your bills paid and settled on time to avoid interruption. And then Monday, Oyster Pond, Tuesday, September 7th, Point Blanche, Wednesday, September 8th, 80 Illis Road, and Thursday, September 9th, Madame Estate. And that's all the time we have for you today. But next week, Fernando will be joined by Julia Gregg. She will be filling in for me for the next couple of weeks, and I know you will enjoy her as well. So, Fernando?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week. Please remember to like our page and share it.
Okay, for more updates, and feel free to join, to email us at your reviews at stories@sxmdailynewsgmail.com. If you've witnessed or were tipped about a breaking story, then WhatsApp us at 721-580-0627. So until next time, do enjoy a very safe weekend.
And you enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.